All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. Now, like I promised you guys, I'm gonna tell you right out of the gate what this video is gonna be about, because if you're scarred because he clickbaits and shit, I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be exactly what I put in the title, okay? I'm gonna prove to you guys, at least to where it would be ridiculous to argue against it, that Jake Paul probably beat Mike Perry up in sparring. Like, I don't even think that after I lay this out that there's any reasonable person who's going to be able to push back on it. Candidly, I didn't even realize that it was like that there was any debate there until I said it in the video yesterday, and I saw a bunch of people in the comments like, dude, Mike Perry beat Jake Paul. Didn't you see the video? I mean, there's 10 seconds of video. Obviously, objectively, the video shows us nothing, okay? Remember when I clickbaited that one video about Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns, and I was like, Gilbert Burns dominates Kamaru Usman. There was 10 times more footage of that than there was of this, you know, and I knew I was bullshitting you guys with that one, but this is like, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing of the Jake Paul and Mike Perry footage, nothing, okay? So all we have to go on is after the sparring session, which is captured, and then Mike Perry's own words. I'm not gonna say take Jake Paul's word for it, of course, like that's not a credible source, but Mike Perry says directly over and over and over that Jake Paul got the best of him. I'm going to lay that out for you guys. We're going to watch the video. We're going to go through all of it. There's no way that you're going to be able to argue it afterwards. And here's the deal, okay? So this is the part where I always stop and I say, if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. And instead of doing that, here's the deal that I'm going to make with you, okay? So if you clicked on this because you thought for sure Mike Perry had beaten Jake Paul, and by the end, you have had your mind changed, you have to subscribe. Even if you hate me, dude. Even if you don't like the style of my jib. All right, so let's watch this thing and let's get into it. Let's go. I want to see Jake Paul and Mike Perry from the Diamond. Jake Paul, he was light work. In his own words, you kicked my ass. Watch this.
Good job, dude. Kick my ass.
No, it's good, bro. Good work.
Okay, so now we're gonna pause there. So at the time, okay, when that happens, you gotta like keep in mind that time is before all this shit on social media. That's right after they sparred. That's right after they sparred. Okay, Mike Perry is a professional fighter, okay? And he just got done fighting Jake Paul. Jake Paul earned his respect because he fucking beat him up, right? I mean, you know, I'm not saying that like he obviously was walking around fine. I'm not saying it was like a 10-7 round, but Mike Perry had clearly Jake Paul earned his respect, obviously. And he came up and he just owned it. He's like, man, you kicked my ass. Now in that moment, that's a moment between men, okay? Like we just shared an octagon, or we just shared a ring and we fought each other, okay? When you fight a guy, I don't care if you like him, hate him, whatever. Actually, barring you hating him, after you fight a guy, you always respect him more. At least I do, okay? Like I actually have noticed that I can't look at a person the same after I fight them. Like if, like a person that I've known like in the gym and they're whatever, I have this like idea of what they are. I see them roll with other people. Somehow, as soon as I either, spar with them, roll with them, whatever, they look like a different person to me afterwards. And generally that happens because I look at someone, I'm like, look at that little kid. And then he beats the fuck out of me, And I'm like, Jesus, like now this kid looks like a man. Or some guy that I was like, oh, that guy's, personality wise, he's kind of soft. Then he folds you into a pretzel and you're like, damn, man. It's a guy thing, dude. Like if you're a wired for combat kind of, head of the table guy, someone beats you up, they earned your respect, man. I mean, that's just what it is. And that's what you were looking at. That's why he said, you kicked my ass, man. That's man-to-man shit, okay? Now, this later stuff is all social media nonsense that Jake Paul is the king of and Mike Perry got trapped into, okay? So when this okay, so actually, you know what? Let's continue because we're going to see exactly what Mike Perry said. All right, so first thing, I was asking Jake Paul and his team to help me be great. We sparred 6 rounds. The 5th and 6th rounds were my best rounds. He caught me at first, then I made the adjustments, showed up to spar, just me and my girl and my baby. Okay, so let's read through that, okay? Mike Perry, right here. And look, I'm not disrespecting Mike Perry here at all. At all. This is just something that happened. People are arguing with me about it, and there's just no question about what happened. Okay, these are his own words. He said straight up, we sparred 6 rounds. The 5th and 6th rounds were my best rounds. What do you think that means? You think that he thinks that he won the first 4 rounds, or he's saying clearly I lost the first 4 rounds? Obviously, I mean there's just no question. That's what he's saying. He's saying Jake Paul won the first 4 rounds. And he's saying he caught me at first, then I made adjustments. So he's saying he made adjustments and he did better in the 5th and 6th round. So the first 4 rounds is getting touched, right? And then he said, showed up to spar, just me and my girl and my baby. That is a halfway excuse. Or maybe not an excuse, but like he's being like, I took it like a man. I showed up with my fucking girl and my baby, and I ate some shots. Okay, that's what he's saying. There's nothing to talk about here. That's exactly what he's saying. All right. Now let's continue. So now a bunch of people broke his balls, right? A bunch of people broke his balls about saying that, Jake Paul was whatever. He said, man, you guys are unreal. I should beat him easily. Shaking my head. The dude can box. He has a great team, and he punched me in the face a few times, and I started to get him back as it progressed. I'm talking about him because they brought me up. How do y'all live with yourselves? Okay? So again, follows the same narrative. I got beat up for the first 4 rounds, and then I did well in the 5th and 6th. Like, there's nothing to even talk about here. That is exactly what he's saying. There's nothing, like, right? God. I will put up my purse, my social medias, and my life, son. Put them up. Let Dustin Poirier train me for a fight against Jake Paul, and we'll represent the MMA community. Light work. Okay, so hang on. I'm pausing right there. Okay, so if you can, I don't need to see the responses to know what's going on there, right? Like, he took shit, right? Like, he's at first just him and Jake Paul, some man-to-man shit. Man, you kicked my ass. Then he goes out and publicly, he's like, man, this guy can fight. He really put it on me for the first 4 rounds, and I got my licks in the 5th and 6th. Then he took so much shit for that all of a sudden he's like, yo, whatever. Like, again, I'm not talking shit to Mike Perry. I'm just saying this is clearly what happened. Now he's got this big long one. Okay, so let's go here. The only clip we got, go ahead, post some, Jake Paul. Yeah, okay. First of all, this is the only clip you got. So someone just was like, yeah, let's just film the last 15 seconds, okay? That feels like maybe you had the whole thing, and you were like, let's just show the end because he was piecing me up earlier. That's a hypothesis that might not be accurate, And nonetheless, dude, Mike Perry beat the fuck out of me. Again, I just want to keep saying that in case Mike Perry sees this. Don't think I'm like talking shit. I think Mike Perry's a badass. So this is the only clip we got. Go ahead and post some, Jake Paul. I took your best shots and walked you down all day. That's the part that I need to directly respond to. Because in the comments, people are like, dude, are you serious? Mike Perry said he walked him down the whole time. Walked him down? Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? And then he says, we all know I'm not hard to hit, but I'm going to focus on that now. Okay. He's being very clear. He was getting hit. And walking someone down. What the fuck does that have to do? You think that means he won? Here, okay, raise your hand if you're a fighter or if you spend any kind of significant time in a ring, okay, ring or octagon, and you heard walked him down and you thought that meant, oh, I won. Walked him down doesn't mean you won at all. Like, that means you walked him down. And a lot of times guys that are like to use that fact, you're gonna just keep walking forward. I'm gonna move to the side. Then I'm gonna move to this side. I'm gonna circle out. I'm gonna touch you, and then I'm gonna move out of range. I'm gonna touch you, then I'm gonna move out of range. I'm gonna circle out. Like, the fact that guy's walking him down, what the fuck? Like, Arturo Gatti walked everyone down. Did he win every single fight? How about the dude, what's his name, that just fought Barbosa? He walked him down the whole way, and then his brain short-circuited after getting hit in the head 1,000 times, okay? Did he win the fight? He walked him down the whole time. That fucking doesn't mean anything. It just means he was walking forward and Jake Paul was circling and picking his shots. I mean, clearly. And then, there was no danger in boxing a wrestler last night, and you gave me a chance to punch you in the face, and I did, and I respected it, but you mistook that, and that's my fault. I show up with my girl and my baby, so don't bring drama. I show up and fight. I was a fan after you sparred me. You showed heart, and you're already successful, and you seem to have a strong team, power and numbers, but you're a spoiled brat, and I'm rich in life. You're broke with a bunch of fake men, yet some men around, blah, blah, blah. Okay, bottom line is, Mike Perry's not a dude that fucking plays on social media. I mean, he's just not, dude. Mike Perry is a dude that does not understand the troll game, at all. He doesn't, there's different types of people when it comes to that. Like, Masvidal is more of a, before he had lots of money in the bank that he could be sued and lose, but when he wasn't a high net worth guy and someone talks shit on social media, he was just like, oh, all right. So this guy wants to get it, this guy, he understands they're trolling, but he's like, I don't like that. He's like, that shit's stupid. I don't like that game. I don't like that troll fucking game. I don't like that troll game. Fuck you. Mike Perry is more like, I don't think it even processes that like the guy's just trolling. Like I think to him, he's like, the fuck you say, dude? I thought we were cool, man. I thought we were fucking cool, dude. And then you're gonna say some shit like that? Dude, you earn my respect, but you're a fucking spoiled brat. It's like, dude, Mike, he's cool, dude. Like, I mean, or maybe, I don't know. If you thought he was cool 5 minutes ago, before you saw his tweets, the tweets shouldn't change it. He's behaving exactly as he always does. If you saw him in person, he'd be normal. He's an online troll. That's what he does. Like, that's not a game that Mike Perry plays or understands. Like, if you're looking for, like, look at how Darren Till fucks with Mike Perry. You know? It's like, Darren Till is the ultimate troll, dude. Comes online, picks his nose, eats it, talks shit about every single fucking fighter in the entire division, and Mike Perry's the one that gets bent out of shape because he just doesn't play that shit. So, anyway, I don't even know if I even need to consider this. Like, this is, I mean, that's it. Like, that's it. That's it. That is it. I mean, we can watch this last bit of footage where they're sparring, but this is like, what, like 5 seconds? And like, you know, oh, look at here, I'm walking you down. Nothing, you know, walking you down, Jake Paul. Like, this is nothing. There's nothing here in this footage. Nothing. There's nothing there, dude. Especially if this is like the 6th round and they're tired. You know, like, there's nothing there. There's nothing there in the footage, man. There's nothing in the footage. But Mike Perry told us exactly what happened, okay? So, that is what I've got. If you think that I'm wrong and you think that what has been said there is Mike Perry beat the shit out of fucking Jake Paul, I'm going to say one of two things. Either you hate Jake Paul so much that you're blind, or you don't speak, like, fighter language, okay? But since, you know, primarily the vast majority of my viewers are super fucking smart, I would imagine most of you guys are with me on this now. So anyway, if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. If anybody knows Josh Fabia, tell him I really want one of these from him. I want a boxing glove, but I want it to be his boxing glove, okay? So it needs to be this big. I want a tiny little boxing glove. And I want it to say, love, Josh Fabia, the king of self-awareness. So I shouldn't be able to even fit 3 fingers in his boxing glove, because that's how I'll know that it's his actual boxing glove, because it should be the size of a Munchkin's. Anyway, if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. That's just a little treat for everybody who stays to the end. Love you guys. Peace.